Fabulous watermelons, $14.99 each. Fresh Purdue chicken leg quarters, hot price, $1.49 per pound. Kraft mayonnaise, 30-ounce jar, hot price at $4.99. Kellogg's Fruit Loops or Corn Pop cereal, 19-ounce box, just $7.99. Sargento sliced cheeses, 6.7 or 8-ounce packages, hot price $3.99. All stores open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Wednesday, August 22nd. I'm Diane Brewer, and thanks for joining us tonight. Police have arrested 6 people in connection with a spate of 9 robberies in recent weeks. One man is suspected of carrying out an assault on a female tourist at Somerset Bridge on Monday and an attack on a worker outside a 4-star outlet yesterday. Stolen property, including a motorcycle, has also been recovered. Police Commissioner Stephen Corbishley announced the arrests at a press conference at the Hamilton Police Station.
I'm pleased to report to you that in the past 24 hours, 6 persons have been arrested and are now in the custody of the Bermuda Police Service. We believe that they are involved in the robberies that I touched upon yesterday, particularly the one at Somerset Bridge and also the one at Frog Lane. We've also recovered stolen property that we believe was taken in those robberies and also a stolen motorcycle. The investigation will progress over the next 24 hours, where we will seek the opportunity to identify and secure evidence and, where possible, bring those responsible to justice. I am extremely grateful to the assistance and attention of the local community and also the media for reporting on this matter. I think this is an excellent example of how the police should be working, bringing together intelligence and the assets that we have and the information that members of the public can present to us. I wish to be quite clear that these kind of offences are extremely violent and will not be tolerated. And this is an example of the speed that we will respond and the way in which we will use intelligence. And those committing these crimes, or whether considering committing these crimes, should be fully aware that the full weight of the law will come down on them, and we'll identify every single opportunity to arrest and bring them to justice.
In court news, the defendant in a manslaughter trial over the death of a New Zealand woman in a boat accident has said he was partially to blame. Andrew Lake told the Supreme Court that in hindsight, he was driving recklessly and the boat collision was partially his fault. Mr. Lake's vessel hit a smaller semi-inflatable dinghy on the night of the 1st of June last year. Today, he told the court he was reckless but said blame should be shared as the smaller boat was not carrying any lights. Prosecutors suggested Lake had not kept a proper lookout before the accident, a charge he denied. Mary McKee drowned following the collision. Prosecutors accused Mr. Lake of traveling at between 25 to 30 knots on his boat, but he said he was going slower, between 15 and 20 knots. The case continues, with closing arguments expected by the end of this week. In other news this evening, the government says it has spent millions of dollars on the repair and maintenance and upgrading of public schools over the summer. And while admitting some work still needs to be done, it's assuring parents that nothing will prevent students from starting school on September the 10th. Gary Moreno brings us up to date.
All of our schools are expected to open on schedule on September 10th.
That assurance coming after the minister outlined a number of significant repair and maintenance projects, which he explained were undertaken to improve public school buildings.
The installation of Wi-Fi and surge suppressors in all primary schools. The renovation of male restrooms at Francis Patton Primary. The renovation of male and female restrooms at Port Royal Primary. The renovations of the cottage at East End Primary. Fumigation of Dalton E. Tucker Primary School. Fumigation of the assembly block at Purvis Primary. Installation of perimeter fencing at several schools. Hallway and classroom floor resurfacing projects at East End Primary, Harrington Sound Primary, Gilbert Institute, and Purvis Primary.
Additional maintenance included pest control assessments and fumigation, inspection, testing and installation of alarm systems, and chlorination of water tanks. Colonel David Bedge, Minister of Public Works, explained this initiative did not come cheap.
The capital works were budgeted at $3 million, and we will spend very close to that when all works are completed. The largest amount to date being $302,000 for the new gymnasium roof at Delwood Middle School. Salaries, materials, and supplies and small contracts are estimated to be an additional $1.5 million, some of which will be capitalized depending on the works. As always, schools are a priority for this government, and funds will be moved from other projects to cover any shortfall.
Minister Bedge points out the teams had only a 9-week window within which to carry out the work. His colleague, Mr. Rabin, at a previous press conference, however, indicated work would have commenced before the start of the summer break.
When I spoke to that, Gary, I was speaking to the fact that we were not waiting to the summer to address small matters that needed to be taken care of. And so works was continuing throughout the year when on school breaks and such, to ensure that when we got to the summer, we weren't worrying about the smaller items. We were worrying about the things that required us to take a longer period to get repaired.
Colonel Birch says LED light bulbs will be installed as a pilot project in one school to assess energy cost savings. But what about the installation of solar panels, which would allow schools to generate electricity back into the grid and thereby create income based on the recent ruling of the regulatory authority?
The government actually has a wider project of installation of solar panels. It's being handled by the Minister responsible for energy. But we are fairly well down that road, and so school buildings will be part of that process and included in that process.
And you may remember some time ago, Premier David Bedge stated that there was already Wi-Fi systems installed in public schools, but there were some issues getting it up and running. Well, Minister Rabin says that's now a thing of the past.
It turned out that our power supply was unreliable, and we had to go back and do some things with the power. And that was something that was just unexpected at the time. But we are assured that all of that will be worked out, and whatever power issues have to be sorted will be done before school opens.
The work done so far included more than 1,000 tasks, as Minister Birch described them, and 39 capital projects, some of which may have to be completed during subsequent school breaks.
Both ministers have assured that the island's public schools will all be ready for occupancy come the start of the new school year, barring a few minor issues that will be ironed out before students return. Of course, we will have to wait and see what happens on September 10th when the new academic year begins. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Gary. Well, we'll have more for you after this short break, including new proposals to protect workers from abusive employers. Stay with us.
Hey, Smokey, let's get lunch from the Marketplace food court.
You know what? That sounds good.
They have oxtails, pumpkin, curried lamb, lemon chicken, sweet and sour ribs, vegetable stir fry, and the variety goes on.
Their chefs are good. They'll set you right up with all the good carbons.
And don't forget the special dishes from the islands.
It don't matter. Well, no matter what you feel like eating, Marketplace will have it.
You know, it's quick, it's quality, and at prices you can count on.
Visit us 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Made for you daily at the Hamilton Marketplace Food Court.
From happy beginnings and life choices that we make along the way,
Colonial protects your lifestyle with the best insurance cover at the best possible price.
Health insurance with far-reaching benefits.
Family protection and long-term financial plans.
Business insurance and generous employee benefits.
For happy beginnings to happy ever after, visit CGIGroup.com.
Colonial, where people come first.
ZBM Realty & Associates services all your real estate needs. Our agents have years of real estate experience specializing in selling of properties, renting of properties, property management, vacation rental. So whether you're looking to move to another location, selling your home, purchasing a new home, or a landlord looking for assistance in managing your property, give us a call today. One of our experienced agents will be more than willing to assist you with all your housing needs. Call us on 234-2050 or visit our website, jbmrealtyandassociates.com.
We are the voices.
You are with the captain.
It's Mr. Midday. 12 new major news. The big station.
The morning show.
Your number one song.
The Faces.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight.
This is exactly what you're talking about.
What an upset it was.
The Storytellers.
They are actually using the pepper spray.
Police are aware of this theory.
The water is 3,500 meters deep.
The tax climbs up to 12.5%.
The window on our community.
We bring you the best in U.S. television entertainment
and the greatest sporting events in the world.
A brilliant performance of Duffy.
We are the island's only Bermudian-owned broadcaster of both television and radio.
With the only TV channels that are available over the air in beautiful high definition, completely free.
We are always expanding.
We are always innovating.
And most important, we're always your station.
This is Bermuda Broadcasting.
Welcome back. The Parliamentary Select Committee investigating the feasibility of a living wage has targeted loopholes to the law that allow employers to avoid paying overtime and pension contributions for some workers. Tarai Trott sat down today with MP Rolf Comisiong, the chairman of that committee, who anticipates that government will be looking to implement a living wage by 2019.
As it stands, employers legally can avoid paying overtime to some employees, a loophole MP Rolf Comisiong, who is chairing that parliamentary committee looking into the establishment of a living wage, believes it is time to change.
You have a clause under Section 9, under overtime, 2B of the Employment Act 2000, that essentially allows for an employer to take a consensus amongst his employees whether they would be willing or agreeable to forego overtime pay, and that allows the employer not having to pay it.
Another area the committee is eyeing is a change to the National Pensions Act to stop the ability of employers to avoid paying pensions on behalf of non-Bermudian employees.
The National Pension Scheme, again in the early 2000s when it was established, provided an opt-out for workers on work permits. We're saying that they should be included in the pool of workers who pay into the scheme. And there's a very good reason why. We believe that over the last, again, 2 decades almost, that has created a perverse incentive. And what do I mean by that? It's created an incentive for some unscrupulous employers to move heaven and earth to hire low-cost, low-skilled foreign labor at the expense of Bermudians. And the incentive in question, they then do not have to pay the 5% that would be required of them in terms of paying into the national pension scheme for that particular worker.
Those in favor of establishing a living wage are hopeful that the living wage debate won't just result in a minimum wage, but a more comprehensive approach to addressing the cost of living in Bermuda.
The 2019 period is recommended that we see the implementation of a $12.25 minimum wage. And why do we talk about establishing that first? We think it's important so that those who have been the most vulnerable in the employment sector, those persons earning $7.50, $6, some $5 in the hospitality sector primarily, but certainly if you have a base pay of $6, $7, $8, or $9 or $10 per hour, it puts these people at very much at a disadvantage.
In terms of a living wage, which is different from a minimum wage, the committee has recommended that a wage commission be formed. The committee recommended an hourly rate of $18.23 as the living wage, but Mr. Comisiong warns this is only a benchmark figure.
In other words, it's a benchmark figure which sends a signal to the Wage Commission that the wage that they eventually come back with will be higher, must be higher than that.
Tarai Trott reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thank you, Tarai. Well, time for the day's top business stories. Here's Tony Waterman with our Biz Mashup.
The U.S. Federal Reserve has signaled support for another interest rate hike next month, as widely expected. But the latest Fed minutes also revealed that the central bank is concerned that heightened trade tensions could derail the economy. If things continue to escalate, the Fed said it may have to push the pause button on its gradual rate path. The market is expecting the central bank to raise interest rates in September, with a chance of another hike in December. Bermuda's interest rates are closely tied to the U.S., and any increase will drive up the cost of borrowing money. The U.S. dollar, and therefore the Bermudian dollar, is headed for its longest losing streak in over 2 years. The dollar has been sliding on the back of comments from President Donald Trump. He said earlier this week that he was, quote, not thrilled by the Fed's decision to raise rates this year. A weaker dollar makes U.S. exports more attractive on a global stage, but for Bermuda, which imports just about everything, it means your buck won't stretch as far as it used to. And if you ever wanted to own James Bond's car, now is your chance. at least a replica of his silver 1964 Aston Martin DB5. 25 replicas will soon be up for sale, and yes, they will have a number of nifty spy gadgets, including the rotating license plates. The car, though, doesn't come cheap with a retail price of $3.5 million. The first cars will be delivered in 2020, but there is a hitch. Aston Martin said the cars cannot be driven legally on public roads. I'm Tony Waterman, and that's your Business Mashup.
Thanks, Tony. Well, due to technical problems with AccuWeather, we can't bring you the weather forecast tonight on our camera on our broadcast tower, showing yet another bright, sunny evening. But some showers are expected later in the week. We'll do our very best to bring you our AccuWeather forecast tomorrow. Still to come, calls for a vigil for the victims of murder on the island. We'll have details about how you can get involved in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
This summer I was in Germany on holiday with my family, and on a whim one day my son and I joined a speed sliding competition. And as I came down the water slide, I went straight down in the pool and whacked my left foot on the bottom of the pool. And I looked down and I didn't see a foot. I just saw the bones sticking out, and I started to feel faint. I was ambulanced to a hospital where I stayed for 11 days and had surgery. I had snapped all the ligaments on both sides of my ankle. And in the middle of all this stress and pain, we thought, how are we going to deal with health insurance? How will we pay for this? And I got a response from Allison at BF&M, and she said, your admission and surgery will be covered at 100%. I didn't have to put it on a credit card and deal with a reimbursement later. It made such a big difference to us. And for me, the BF&M difference is stress-free insurance when I really needed it.
This is Jane. Jane has been living independently until her recent fall. Because of the injury she sustained, her mobility is now limited. Jane chose Bermuda In-Home Care to assist her with her activities of daily living. The caregivers at Bermuda In-Home Care are trained to care for individuals with limited mobility. They incorporate exercise and activities into Jane's care plan given by her doctor and physiotherapist. The caregiver helps the family select the right medical equipment from Lighthouse Medical Supplies. Lighthouse Medical Supplies have certified durable medical equipment specialists available to help. Falls are the #1 cause of injury in older adults. Falls lead to head injuries and hip fractures. Fall prevention is critical. Call Bermuda In-Home Care to speak to one of our home care specialists. Call us now for a free home care assessment, 705-4424, or visit us at www.bermudainhomecare.com.
The core of Smart Security's business is providing customers with burglar, fire, CCTV, and other essential alarm services. An important and growing market that offers you the best of all worlds, state-of-the-art protection technology, and monitor your system 24 hours a day, every day of the year, offering you that peace of mind knowing everything you care about is safe and secure. Technology allows residential and business customers to access information and to control their security systems remotely. For more information, call Smart Security Systems at 292-4019. Or visit their website, smartsecuritysystems.bm.
Members of the public are being asked to come together for a candlelight vigil tomorrow evening in Victoria Park. It's being held to honor the 47 lives lost to murder since 2003. Antonio Belvedere, a peace activist, explains why he has organized the vigil.
I'm doing a candlelight vigil at Victoria Park at 7:30. It's pretty much just to kind of bring the community together and unite. This has been ignited due to the loss of the late Taylor Greer, who just recently passed away, as we know. This is nothing to do with politics or any government or even myself. This is just pretty much to kind of bring the community together, bring unity, bring peace, and bring love. So I'm just asking for people to come out, listen to some local artists that we have coming out to sing. We have some music played by Brother Richie, and we're just going to kind of pray over the community, bring a candle, bring your love, and just come out and let's just try and come together and bring our island back from where we were or where we used to be.
Now, you're a peace activist, and you've been monitoring lives being lost for several years.
Yeah, for years. And I actually was a part of YouthNet Peace Builders Network, and we went to New York, and me and 3 other women became certified peace builders. That was some years back, probably 2010, I want to say, or 2009. And I kind of took a back seat after I did a peace march in 2011, but like I said, ever since Taylor's passing, I feel like it needs to be ignited, because Taylor was a young father, and he did a lot for his daughter, and he was always there for his daughter, and I feel like some fathers are kind of not given that type of light, and for a man to lose his life like that is very sad. So this is probably not going to stop anything on our island. It's probably not going to do anything, but if it just does one thing and that just brings us together, then why not try it?
Maritime officials successfully helped to transport a sick boy from a cruise ship offshore to the island for treatment. The Bermuda Maritime Operations Center was contacted by the captain of the Celebrity Summit last night concerning a 13-year-old who was suffering from a suspected brain embolism. The ship was 150 miles northwest of the island at the time. Officials report that the boy was successfully transferred ashore by a pilot boat, escorted by the ship's medical team and taken to the hospital. The ship later docked at the King's Wharf in Dockyard. Well, still to come, Earl Baisden has all the day's top sports headlines, including news of a possible move for Naki Wells. Stay with us.
You can count on us. Green Giant red potatoes, 5-pound bag, only $5.99. Fresh assorted pork chops at $2.99 per pound. Chobani Greek yogurt, 5.3-ounce tub, just $1.89. Scott Chooser size paper towels, 1 roll at $2.69. Super Swat or Superbug insect spray, 430 milliliter tin, hot price $3.69. All stores open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us. Welcome to Bermuda Motors. We're proud to be celebrating over 50 years of being the island's leader in automotive sales.
While we are known for selling some of Bermuda's premium auto brands, we are your single source for all your vehicle needs. From cars to bikes to commercial vehicles, we have it all at Bermuda Motors.
Bermuda Motors is your single source for your automotive needs. To find out more, visit bermudamotors.bm or call us at 292-0893.
Bermuda Broadcasting Company is pleased to present the third and final round of the 115th Annual Eastern Counties Cup Competition, featuring defending champions, Cleveland County Cricket Club, and challengers, St. David's Cricket Club at the Seabreeze Oval in Bailey's Bay. Join the island's leading cricket commentary team of Alan Richardson, Wendell Smith, and Dwayne Sluggo Lebrock with live ball-by-ball coverage. Saturday, September 1st, starting 9:45 a.m. on Power 95 FM, the island's #1 station for your Eastern County Cup Competition. Brought to you by Lindo's Group of Companies, John Barrett & Son Limited, Polaris Holdings, Money Shop, and Moongate Insurance Group.
Cross comes in, and it's won by Clark, but put back in, and Huddersfield have scored, and it is Naki Wells.
Naki Wells, 3-0. Ball into the area, and again, and this time it's turned in by Naki Wells.
Sports now, and Naki Wells could soon be on the move from Burnley while the BCB announces a Super 8 cricket festival. Earl Baisden has it all in tonight's sports report.
Reports out of the UK suggest that QPR have made a formal request to Burnley for the services of Naki Wells. We will keep you abreast of any developments of this story as the watch for where Wells ends up continues. At a press conference earlier today, the Bermuda Cricket Board announced a new and exciting Super 8 festival to be held at the Seabreeze Oval September 8th and 9th. Making the announcement was the president of the Bermuda Cricket Board, Lloyd Smith, who during the question and answer period addressed the following questions. Is this clubs or is it?
This is Bermuda Cricket Board clubs.
Okay, so how many clubs do we have?
We have 13 clubs.
So how do you pick 8?
Well, right now we're sent out the information to all our clubs and asking them for who wants to participate, and we're going to pick. And at that point, when we find out who wants to participate, then we'll pick the top 8 clubs.
What are the parameters of picking a club?
From the standards from leagues.
Okay, so if I'm 9th, do I enter? Do I say I'm interested?
Yes, because it's not all clubs. So far, you don't know if all clubs are going to want to participate.
How many players maximum?
Maximum 10 players per team, 8 players that play.
So once the 10 are in, that's the 10, you can't switch a player?
You can't switch a player after the 10 players have been assigned on that morning of the game.
The final round of the CONCACAF Caribbean Women's Qualifiers will get underway in Jamaica next week, with Bermuda taking part. The Bermuda women's national team was announced earlier today, and with recent successes with the under-17 girls and the under-14 boys, Coach Nikita Robinson says hopefully with the progress of the women's national team advancing in this tournament is all part of the long-term plan for the association.
This is all part of the process. So, we go now and see what the women can do. Remember, the plan is a 7-year plan. We've had some success in 2 years since we started with this so-called working group, right? So if you'll see when the team comes out that we have some under-17s who just traveled playing in this senior team. So, we had some under-17s that were the senior players in that under-15 team. So the overlapping of the players playing in all these tournaments, we're getting international exposure. Our girls are no longer saying, we're playing Jamaica. Like our last training session last night, the girls are pumped, they're ready to go, Obviously our last outing against Jamaica at the senior level wasn't a great one, but so much growth has happened among the coaches and among the players since then.
Delray Rollins' Sussex second teammates will need to bat the entire third day of their second 11 championship 3-day match against Hampshire or score another 295 runs to force Hampshire to bat again. On day 2, Hampshire resumed at 112 for 1. Hampshire would go on to score 516 for 5 declared. Rollins was the pick of the Sussex bowlers with figures of 20 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 65. At the close of play, Sussex had reached 74 for 1. Rollins opened the inning and was out for 20 from 28 balls, hitting 3 fours. Adam Hall and his Aberdeen Ironbird teammates came to Vermont after sweeping Connecticut and found success through a balk, some errors, and a couple of key hits. Vermont's mistakes piled up, and Robert Newstrom's homer was the difference in a 6-4 Ironbird victory. Hall had yet another strong day at the plate. He had 3 at-bats, scoring 1 run. With 1 hit, 1 double, Hall also had 2 RBIs and a walk. 4 males and 1 female will represent Bermuda at the upcoming World Optimist Championships in Cyprus. Christian Eben, who last week won the Volvo Gill Optimist British and Open Championship Senior Fleet, will be looking to continue that form. Also representing Bermuda will be Sebastian Kemp, who finished 15th overall in the championships. Azai Smith and Magnus Ringstead are the other 2 males competing, while Leilai Walker will compete and look to finish high in the fleet among the females. Dante Levrock and his J.K. Never teammates have advanced to the quarterfinals of the Esterna Cup with a 7-0 win over Kadrina, while Reggie Lamb watched from the bench as his Cambridge United teammates battled hard to fight back against table toppers Exeter City at the LB Stadium, but fell 2-0 to 2 first-half goals. Oliver Betchard competed on the PGA North Florida Section Junior Tour. Betchard competed in the Tampa Bay Junior Golf Open. He would finish tied 3rd after 2 rounds of 12 over par 83. Although the Bermuda women's volleyball senior team were defeated in the Women's Eastern Caribbean Championships in Antigua, Bermuda player Jade Weaver was named the Senior Women's Tournament Best Offside Hitter. The Bermuda Commercial Summer Softball League's playoffs continued at the Michael Priest Softball Diamond last evening with yet another triple header that produced 88 runs. The Shooters went down in the opener 12-6 to the Ragamuffins. The Athens Warriors then went down 17-15 to the Butterfield and Valor Sliders. The Beach Bums defeated the Sunglass and Watch Shop 20-18.
I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Thanks, Earl. Well, that's all from the team tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful evening. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Good night.
Trying to set back